Good morning. You're listening to Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO, brought to you by First Southern Bank, Van's Barbecue, Murphy Builder Supply, and O'Quinn & Associates.
Hi, I'm Mandy Yeomans.
And I'm Raymond Brown with First Southern Bank. As your locally owned community bank, we're here to help our community grow. Our customers are why we are here. You can tell we want your business.
We offer all types of deposit products, personal and business. We have fast, efficient service, and yes, we have online banking too. I'm sure we have an account to fit your needs. Stop by or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
We're FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
When it comes to barbecue, Van's Barbecue in Jessup is the place to be. A small family-owned business located at 1876 on the Savannah Highway. Van's Barbecue has lunch and dinner specials. Stop by or call to make an order. The number to call, 427-3358. Van's Barbecue's new manager is Sarah Van. Van's Barbecue offers potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and don't forget their delicious mac and cheese. Also, check out their shrimp plates, the best in town. Yes, when it comes to barbecue, head to Van's Barbecue, locally owned and operated. Stop by and tell them the Big Dog sent you. Once again, the number to order, 427-3358.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Do you know why most people don't invest outside work or at all? Because they don't know where to start and they don't know who to talk with. If this is you, give me a call. Hi, this is Sean O'Quinn. I can help set up a plan no matter where you are in life to get you on a suitable path to a sound financial future. Give me a call, Sean O'Quinn, at 912-385-1000 or stop by the office at 212 South First Street right here in Jessup. That number again is 912-385-1000.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
The world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
World-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio. And, Bob, we've got a special guest on the phone with us this morning. Who do we have?
Well, we got the CEO and president of the Peach Bowl and also the operator of the Aflac kickoff game, Mr. Gary Stokins, with us here from Atlanta, I guess. And, sir, we appreciate you being here on the show and talking about this big game Friday night.
Great to be here. Thanks for having us. Great time of the year to kick off college football.
It definitely is. I guess the first question is, how did you select the two teams, Georgia Tech and Louisville, for this ball game?
Well, we typically talk to the ACC because they have the Monday night official or exclusive, I should say, broadcast with ESPN and in that window on Labor Day night. And we said, anytime we can help put a game on Monday, we'd be happy to do it. They had Georgia Tech, Louisville, and Duke and Clemson both scheduled, and we wound up moving our game to Friday night. First time we've done a kickoff game on Friday night. We had Clemson and Georgia Tech last year on Monday night, so this is the first Friday night game and first game with two new head coaches, and to have an ACC opening game. Conference game is unique for us. Only the second time we've done it. Last year we had, as I mentioned, Clemson and Georgia Tech.
I imagine Georgia Tech being right there in Atlanta, the ticket sales should be pretty good for this game, I would imagine, on a Friday night.
Yeah, it's great for Georgia Tech because all of their season ticket holders that they have in Bobby Dodd Stadium can just move over to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's different atmosphere. It's a different experience. So they really enjoy it, and I know Louisville always loves coming to Atlanta. Atlanta has a special place in their heart. They won the National Basketball NCAA tournament here in Atlanta, so they always travel well. And obviously Georgia Tech has a huge alumni base here, and Louisville does as well.
As you mentioned, they both got first-year head coaches. What are the expectations of these two teams? Georgia Tech's got a local kid, Weston Franklin, plays center from Wayne County. He's getting ready for his junior year. But What are the expectations of both Georgia Tech and Louisville this year?
I'm really impressed with both head coaches, following them over the summer and talking to them at media days in Charlotte at the ACC media days. Both have developed their teams through the transfer portal this first year, and both are recruiting well. Both have great pedigrees. You know, Brent spent time with George O'Leary at Georgia Tech, and then also UCF, and then with Nick Saban over at Alabama. And Jeff Brom, who was a great player and has been very successful, most recently at Purdue. So both have great pedigrees, and both are at their alma mater. So I'm expecting successful careers for both Brent Key and Jeff Brom.
How long have you been the CEO and president of the Peach Bowl? That's a big title. And I know the Peach Bowl was a big event in Atlanta.
This will be my 26th year. You know, we've seen a lot and been able to accomplish a lot. We had the vision to make Atlanta the capital of college football by moving the College Football Hall of Fame to Atlanta, which it was our idea to do that and move it. We built it, sustained it. We created the kickoff game format back in 2007. First game was 2008. We've been consistent in having at least one game every year, where some cities that have followed us haven't been able to maintain that continuity. So we feel humbly proud about that. And then lastly, we were able to move the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl from what, in 1998, when I first came on and was in charge of selecting the teams at that time, selected Georgia and Virginia, and our own newspaper in Atlanta called us a third-tier bowl game. And now here we are hosting, quarterfinals next year and semifinals and national championship games. And last year we hosted 22.5 million viewers for our Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl with Georgia and Ohio State in the semifinal game, which is in the top 20 all-time of TV broadcasts and cable TV history.
Yeah, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, just a gorgeous place. I watched the Falcons preseason game this past week. They're talking about where they were interviewing Arthur Blank and talked about how he maintains where the food is at a decent price. They don't really gouge anybody on the food up there, but it is a gorgeous stadium.
Yeah, give credit to Arthur Blank. He built a stadium that had the fan experience in mind. So not only are there great sight lines, but great technology. And then he went a step further, being the least expensive concession in all of the NFL, because he wanted families to be able to attend and be able to have kids there and let them get something to eat. So, he's done a wonderful job. It's a wonderful place to play, and an honor to host the national championship next year. Will be the first city that will host twice in the CFP era.
Well, the good news is on Friday night, the Chick-fil-A food stand will be open. It just amazed me. Chick-fil-A's got a place in there, but they don't serve on Sundays. So when the Falcons are playing, that place is closed. But I guess it'll be open on Friday.
Yeah, they'll be packed on Friday night for the Georgia Tech Louisville game. They've been a great partner. I always tell people their food is excellent, but their people are even better.
Right.
They've been a great partner of ours through when we started our golf tournament at Reynolds with all the coaches. They partnered and sponsored that, and they sponsored the kickoff game when we started in 2008. They've stepped away from it this year. We have a new title partner, Aflac, who's come on to partner on the kickoff game with us. We're awfully proud to have them. They're a Georgia company. They're invested in college football like we are, but they also have their heart in the right place. They've given $168 million to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta to create the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorder Center. And we've given $20 million, raised another $3 million to have the Peach Bowl Legacy Fund at the Aflac Cancer Blood Disorder Center to create trials and drug treatments, to find cures, to somehow eradicate childhood cancer and hopefully give a kid another day, another month, another year, and maybe another lifetime. So both of our hearts are in the right way, and so we're going to call this game a kickoff for a cause. And we're going to raise money through our 50-50 raffle, through donations that both us and Aflac will make to give back to the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorder Center at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Yeah, and on the phone with us is the CEO and president of the Peach Bowl, also operated Aflac kickoff game, kickoff this Friday night in Mercedes-Benz. I guess as the CEO of the Peach Bowl, do you travel and watch all these games, or you just watch them on TV, or how do you select the teams that are going to be in the Peach Bowl this year?
Well, it's all about relationships in any business, and so I've spent the last 26 years and probably the last 17 beyond that. I've been in sports for 43 years, and it's been a labor of love. I've never worked a day in my life. I've been blessed to have been able to follow my passion in my career, and so you build a lot of relationships, and that's what it takes to create these kickoff games and to to move the bowl up. You have to meet people face to face and build those relationships, and then you have to execute. And we've got the best staff in the business, the best volunteers, the best board who really unite together to execute. A great bowl game, great kickoff game. Our bowl game was just awarded the best student athlete experience award from all of the bowls, all 44 bowl games in the country. And we also maintain our mission of being the most charitable bowl organization out of all 44 bowls in the country by giving $68 million away to charities. So that's something that's really important to us. So great staff, great board, great volunteers that really understand Southern hospitality and can't wait to host people. So with all those combination plus, having the most effective and efficient airport in the world, having a great stadium like we mentioned in Mercedes-Benz, great hotels, close walking distance to the facilities, all those ingredients put together with great corporate support, and that's the reason why a lot of media call Atlanta the capital of college football.
Do you have a most memorable game? Do you have a favorite team?
Well, I went to North Carolina State. I played basketball there and then coached basketball there. So North Carolina State would be the team that, obviously I root for. But in this business, you find yourself rooting for friends rather than schools and teams. And so I have a lot of friends after 43 years. So, I root for a lot of friends. And, I've been blessed to have been able to make those friends and maintain them throughout the years as well.
You weren't there when Jimmy V was there, were you?
Yeah, I played for Norm Sloan and then coached with Norm Sloan, and then when Norm went to Florida, he wanted me to go down there, and Jimmy came into NC State, wanted me to stay at NC State. I was a young guy. I was 25 years old back then. I decided to get out of coaching and went into the business world and took a job with Adidas and moved to Atlanta and opened up the Adidas Southeast office and had a good run there. And then went to Converse and had a good run there and started my own sports marketing company, and then went back to work for Adidas, and then in 1998 served as a volunteer on the boards of the Atlanta Sports Council and the Peach Bowl, and the board asked me to come run both the Atlanta Sports Council and the Peach Bowl, and it was a good time for me to get off the road. I'd spent a lot of time on the road. My daughters were moving into middle school, and so it allowed me to stay home in Atlanta and more than I had been. So it was a great move, and God's blessed us. We've been able to stay in Atlanta, all these years. So it's been a great run.
What kind of crowd are they expecting Friday night? Are ticket sales still available, or if somebody's listening and wants to get a ticket, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah, there's always tickets on the secondary market. So I would look at StubHub or those secondary market Vivid tickets. Ticketmaster would be the best way. And we have I think 42,000 tickets available that have been bought up by Louisville and Georgia Tech and our local fans here. So it's going to be a great crowd, and should be a great TV viewing opportunity on Friday night as well. Plus, being the only game on ESPN in that primetime slot is a great slot to be for viewership. And people are starved to watch college football, so I know they'll tune in to watch our game.
Well, again, we appreciate you being here on our World Famous Butch and Bob Show to talk about the game. Again, it's Friday night, Georgia Tech, Louisville, in the Aflac Kickoff Classic, so it should be a lot of fun. But, again, appreciate you being here, and thanks again for all the information.
Sure. Thanks for having us, and anything or anytime we can help out with during the season or as we get closer to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, we'd be happy to help again.
Okay, thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Gary Stokan from Atlanta there with the CEO and president of the Peach Bowl and operator of the Aflac Kickoff game. It'll be this Friday night there in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium between Georgia Tech and Louisville. That game can be heard, of course, on our AM station, Fox Sports Radio 1370 AM, The Buzz, WLOP, radio station for Georgia Tech football for Southeast Georgia. So ought to be a good game there at Mercedes-Benz.
Season's here. I said college football, a couple games over the weekend, but majority of people kick off this weekend, weekend. So Georgia Southern action this Saturday at 6 o'clock against Citadel. We've got that game for you on FM 105, and Georgia's at home this Saturday taking on UT Martin. I think that kickoff's around 1 o'clock in Athens. So.
No, Georgia Southern kicks off at 6 o'clock. And that game can be heard right here on 105.5 FM Saturday as they'll take on the Citadel. Pre-game begin at 4 o'clock. You can listen to pre-game show to get fired up and hear all about this year's team, the players, coaches, and everything else. And then kick off at 6 o'clock Saturday, Georgia Southern, and hosting the Citadel. And then, Bob, you'd mentioned to me earlier when I was promoting the softball game that looking at the schedule that I have, that the game's been moved from 5:30 to 6 o'clock for today's Wayne County softball game. Is that correct?
Yeah, apparently there's no JV game. Had a JV game originally scheduled, but again, the game's been pushed back to 6 o'clock. So.
Okay.
Busy week this week. Tomorrow we got a doubleheader against Burke, and then Thursday we got action as well. So
Wednesday's the only day that we don't have something going on sports-wise.
Well, it's probably going to rain Wednesday.
Yeah,
storm's
Wednesday
coming.
It's going to be raining, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, storm's coming through Wednesday, so not sure how much rain we're going to get from that storm. But Florida is preparing for a major hurricane. So
it's headed right our way. It's just according to how much tropical storm rain that we get on Wednesday. And that thing, as I said before, those things can blow left, blow right. You really don't know. But right now, tropical storm conditions are possible for Wednesday here in southeast Georgia from that tropical storm hurricane that's coming through the Gulf right now. So Wednesday, it's a good thing we don't have anything going on Wednesday. We got a softball game today at 6 o'clock. We got a doubleheader softball game tomorrow. Who do we play tomorrow?
Burke County.
Burke County in our first region games.
Yeah.
And then Thursday we play.
I don't have the schedule with me, so I'm not sure.
I do. Thursday will be New Hampstead, another region game, and that'll be at 6 o'clock here at Barbara Struckoff Field. And then, of course, Friday night, Wayne County High School football, as we'll travel across the border there to travel up there to take on Appling County. And so you and I will be tied up with sports every day this week except for Wednesday.
It's going to be a big game Friday night over in Appling County.
Big game.
Both teams very talented. So tight game last year. I'm sure it'll be a close game this year. So looking forward to hearing from Coach Shaw tomorrow on the Coaches Show. Bring you comments all this week.
Close they played Ware County.
I saw
they were right with them the entire time.
Yeah,
you went to that game.
Yeah, they had a chance to win that game if they didn't turn it over. So they got a very talented football team. I said they're ranked number 2 in the state in their classification for a reason. So again, hats off to Wayne County's defense. The first time Brooks County's been shut out since 2011. They had one of the longest streaks. Them and Arabian County both shut out over the weekend, and they had 2 of the longest streaks without being shut out. But Wayne County shuts out Brooks County. First time Brooks County shut out since 2011, 149 games in county. But Wayne County snapped that with the 14-0 shutout Friday night at JC Stadium. So hats off to the Coach Crutchfield and his defensive staff shutting down a very good, talented team. They had athletes. They had big chunk plays. They just couldn't ever sustain anything. But they quarterback was very talented. They had a quick receiver, good running back, but they would get big chunk plays.
Put 2 or 3 plays together in a row.
I mean, they'd get a big 50-yard play, and then all of a sudden they would stop. So, but that's hats off to our defense for shutting them down. So, it was a good ball game, good crowd on Friday night. A lot of activities that all the alumni that I talked to were just ecstatic about what all took place. So, hats off to everybody put that together. Miguel Vale, thanks for the meal, and Sheffield has provided the hats and shirts for those guys, and just a lot of happy alumni returning to JC Stadium this past Friday night. It was a nice night.
Mm-hmm.
Good win.
Good victory for the Jackets over Brooks County and Appling County this coming Friday night. Just exciting times. Then you've got most of the college games beginning this weekend. And then a week or so after that will be the pros begin. Let's see, the pros begin on the 10th, so it'll be the weekend after that. As the Jaguars will be at home on the 10th, taking on Indianapolis. And on the 10th, the Jaguars will be on the road, taking on Indy on the 10th. And then the Atlanta Falcons will be at home, taking on Carolina on the 10th. And so, just all kinds of football, high school, college, pro, all kicking in right now, Bob.
And the Braves still rolling.
Took 2 out of 3 from San Fran. And now they're in the Mile High City to take on Colorado for the next 3 nights there, with first pitch every single night, tonight, tomorrow night, and Wednesday night at 8:40. And so we should be through with the softball game, going right into the pregame show, and then first pitch at 8:40 for the Braves game tonight against Colorado. And then they leave there and go back to California to take on the Dodgers, which could be a preview of the National League Championship.
That'll be a big series. The Dodgers are playing well. Congrats to California. They won the Little League World Series. That was a fun game to watch yesterday. California had a big lead, led 5-1, and then all of a sudden they hit a grand slam home run to make it 5-5, and California hits a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 6th inning to win 6-5. So it was an exciting game yesterday on ABC.
And who are they playing again?
Caraco.
Where's Caraco? Is that South America?
It's way out. And they told how far it was. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's not around from these here parts, is it?
You're asking the wrong person.
I know. You're asking somewhere.
Don't ask me directions.
I thought maybe they just said it during the game, and maybe you remembered
they
it
did.
or something.
I didn't remember.
All right, Caraca. That sounds like South America.
It's a long way from America. I know that. They had a long trip,
and so.
But they had a lot of fans there. That's for sure in Little Williamsport, PA. So
they were saying that that's been many years in a row now. Not in a row, but for there've been a lot of California teams that have won for the World Championship for America. So good baseball going on out there in California for these little kids.
It's a fun game to watch. And Victor Hoffman wins the FedEx Championship, 5 strokes over Xander Schauffele. That was fun to watch. They had a big rain delay, about an hour and 45-minute rain delay, but they still got it in. So it was fun to listen to those CBS announcers say that they told those golfers that they need to pick up the pace. Let's go. We need to get this in before the sun sets.
Maybe they'll start putting in a time clock in golf like they did in baseball.
That'd be good. Yeah, they got
to
hit it.
Good. Jeez, guys take forever out there.
They got to hit it in so many. Yeah, that'd be good.
My word! And we just got a text in that says Wayne County High School volleyball tomorrow, starting at 4:00 against Bradwell and Toombs. So Wayne County girls volleyball tomorrow, starting at 4:00 on Tuesday, Bradwell and Toombs.
Yeah, we had that in local sports. They must not have listened.
Well, I'm sure they did. They probably just want us to mention it again, just like we mentioned several other sports again. And so, we talk about it in sports. We talk about it in the Butch and Bob Show. Get a little more publicity there. And let's see. That's it there. Okay. So all kinds of sports going on. And we'll keep you updated right here on 105.5 FM Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. It was good to have, Bob. It was good to have Bob. It was good to have Gary Stokin on this morning, president of the Peach Bowl and operator of the Aflac Kickoff Bowl game coming up this weekend, to have someone from from the Peach Bowl actually give us a call and talk to us about, the Peach Bowl, the Aflac game this Friday night, and the things going on there with that bowl game. The Peach Bowl is really come into its stride in the last several years.
And they reached out to us. Trevor Bowden, the communication coordinator up there in Atlanta, called us and wanted to know if we'd like to have Gary on the show. I said they would love to have him. Like I said, we got a local player playing for Georgia Tech, Weston Franklin, getting ready for his junior year at center. So number 72, if you watch the game on TV, again, that's Weston's number. So getting ready for his junior year, doing well up at Georgia Tech. I'm sure he's getting a good education, but we wish him the best of luck his junior season. Good player, good kid.
Yep. Good to have a Wayne County player up there
it's
at
nice
Tech.
to see these local kids move on to the next level and play at the collegiate level.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Good stuff. And the crowd for the alumni for Friday night there at JC Stadium. Of course, I'm here running the board. I can't see what's going on out there at the stadium. Was there a decent crowd up under the tent there and all that?
They had a real good crowd. Like I said, they had a good meal. Gave them hats and shirts, and I said I think they thoroughly enjoyed it. Appreciate Billy Richardson being our halftime guest, and we had Wendell Madry as our pregame guest, a member of that 54 state championship team. So I appreciate him coming up and being on the show. But there was some good stories.
Yep, there was some good stories. Matter of fact, I recorded that whole thing too, about 7 minutes worth. And but old Jessup High School. Wayne County. When I moved here in '68, Wayne County had only been Wayne County High School for a couple of years. It was Jessup High School, where Jessup Elementary School used to be, which is where the Jessup Police Department is now. And that's where Jessup High School was. They had their small stadium behind it and so forth.
See what that stadium.
It was all right there.
Hard to believe that's where it was back in the day.
Yeah, well, it was all cleared out back there, and when I first moved here, we didn't have Bill Morris Park. We had a softball field, baseball field, and it was there. That's where it was. And when we first moved to Jessup in '68, lived not only a couple of blocks away from us, used to walk over during the summertime and see the baseball and softball games because there was one right there, And then, of course, Bill Morris Park was built where we had a lot of different fields to be able to play on. But that's where a sports complex was way back then. Back in them golden years, Bob.
Way before my time, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then, of course, they decided to combine Jessup High School, Scriven, and Odom, and all that together to make Wayne County High School back in the mid-'60s, and that's when the Wayne County Yellow Jackets started. I like to know when the Jackets started. The very first Jessup high school team was the Railroaders. That was the very first nickname for Jessup High School back in 24. We're talking about 1923-24. Wow.
Be interesting to see how they changed the name from Railroads to Yellow Jackets. So.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a story there, and I probably have read it before and just forgot. Yeah, Bob, if someone wants to know who's going to win between TCU versus Colorado versus Coach Dion.
TCU.
TCU. Yeah. You don't think Slime Time's got it?
I hope Slime Time loses every game. That's what I hope. I'm not a Slime Time fan.
I know you're not.
He's probably cheating with the best of them, though. So I'm sure he's giving players a bunch of money. So
I don't have to worry about giving money. I mean, they give money these days, left, right, forwards, and backwards. I mean, sheesh.
Go TCU. Go Horned Frogs. I don't even know what the line is in that game. I don't even know who's favored. So I'll take TCU though. I'll take anybody over Slime Time. So
okay. He treated you one time bad in the locker room there at the Braves, and you've had it against him ever since.
I just never did like him.
Mr. Buck 50, right?
I don't like these me people. He's all about me.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does there. And one of the most interesting things is going to see how college football is going to shake out in the next few years. I mean, there's not going to be a Pac-10 anymore after this year, it doesn't look like. And, and SEC's growing, the Big Ten's growing. It's just football's a changing in college, Bob. Man, it's a changing big time.
Shaq tells that funny story about players were complaining that Kobe wasn't passing the ball. So Shaq says, I'll talk to him. So Shaq says he goes to Kobe and says, Kobe, there's no I in team. He says, I know, but there's an M-E in that word.
There's team. There's me and team.
There's an M-E in there.
Yeah.
So he went back and told him, he said, just get ready for the rebound. Kobe's not passing the
ball. Just get ready for the rebound.
That's what Shaq told him. He said that's when he said he respected Kobe that day. He said he talked to him. He said, Kobe, there's no I in team. And Kobe said, yeah, there's the M-E in there. He says, he went back and told the rest of the guys, he says, I talked to him. He said, get ready for the rebound. He started passing the ball.
when he shoots it, go hit the boards.
Yeah, that's right. Go get the rebound.
That's right.
But he talked to him. They were complaining. They said, Shaq, you got to talk to Kobe. He's not passing the ball at all. So I got to talk to him. He talked to him. Told him there was no I in team.
He did what he said he was going to do, huh?
He said, I know, but there's the M-E in there.
Yeah.
So,
Shaq is one of those guys that everybody seemed to kind of like when he really kind of like. They liked when he played, and now he does a bunch of commercials and for a lot of different products, and he just comes across as a very likable guy. I mean, I guess he's that way in real life. I mean,
he's very charitable. I mean,
very charitable, likable guy.
They talk about he'll walk into a Target store before Christmas and he'll close it down. Every kid in there, he'll go around there and buy them anything they want. So he's a very generous guy. He's just a good guy. He's fun to watch on TV though. But he's a great storyteller. But you gotta like Shaq.
Yeah, everybody just seems to like Shaq. He just has that type of personality. Somebody wants to know what the score was Friday night. It was Wayne 14, Burke 0.
Brooks.
Yeah,
we got Burke later in the year. 3 teams in our region top 10.
The reason why I said Burke, because that's what they wrote, is that what was the score Friday night between Wayne and Brooks? It wasn't Burke, it was Brooks. I was just reading what was on the screen here, but it was Brooks County we played. And it was 14-0. That's what the score was. 14-0 Wayne County over Brooks County, which is Quitman, Georgia, just on the other side of Valdosta. All right, Bob, anything else in your mind this morning before we mosey on out of here?
Just have a good day.
Have a good day. All right. World famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup, brought to you by First Southern Bank, Van's Barbecue, Murphy Builder Supply, and O'Quinn & Associates.